Somebody sent me this link, and I've got to show y'all this. Thanks for tuning into Hard News TV4. I'm your host, Terry Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is October 18th, 2020, and somebody sent me this in an email. This clip is from October 8th, 2020, out of Canada, and it's by a person's channel called Seth the Saxon. He's got 278 subscribers. I don't know who Seth the Saxon is. Mr. Seth, I'm not making money off of you. I am promoting your channel. I am going to share this video because I think people in the free world need to see this. So this is I don't know how the Canadian law is, Congress or whatever is set up. So y'all overlook my ignorance on that. I don't know anybody that lives in Canada. Okay, so apparently this might be equal to the Senate, and one member is questioning another member about concentration camps being set up in Canada, internment camps, and not to just hold COVID people, but a whole range of people. And the person that he's addressing the question to skirts around the question, deflects, does not answer it. The man redirects his question, and they tell him to sit down. Y'all have got to hear this. It's a 3-minute clip. Here we go.
The member for Lanark, Frontenac, Kingston.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, my question is to the Premier. In my supplemental question yesterday, I asked this government if the people of Ontario should prepare for internment camps. In September, the federal government posted a call for expressions of interest for contractors to supply, provide, and manage quarantine isolation camps throughout every province and every territory in Canada. These quarantine isolation camps, however, are not limited to people with COVID, but provide a wide latitude for many people to be detained. Surely this government is aware of the intentions to build these isolation camps from coast to coast. And my question to the Premier is, how many of these camps will be built, and how many people does this government expect to detain?
Question.
Here comes the deflection.
Government House Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is very true that when people leave the country and when they come back in, that the province is suggesting, and the federal government, in cooperation with the federal government, we are suggesting that people isolate themselves. That has been a practice that has been very successful, not only here in the province of Ontario, but across Canada. And we will, of course, be redoubling our efforts to make sure that the people of the province of Ontario remain safe, Mr. Speaker. So if the member is referring to the fact that that one of the public health policies is that when you return from a jurisdiction outside of the province of Ontario or from another country, that you isolate yourself for 2 weeks, I would suggest that has been a good policy that has been working. In fact, this House has been doing the same thing since we came back. We are working in cohorts to make sure that the Legislative Assembly can continue to operate. That's why we have 2 separate cohorts, Mr. Speaker.
Response.
With the cooperation of the official opposition, that is why all members of the Independents have been excluded from that cohort, because we want them to be able to participate in debate. So we will continue to do everything in our power to make sure that this House continues, but that the people of the province of Ontario and Canada are kept safe.
Supplementary question.
Again, back to the Premier. Here's the RFP. And in the RFP, it uses clear language to express that these camps can be used for a broad spectrum of people, not limited to travelers. Indeed, it doesn't even mention international travelers. It's just a broad latitude of people. And I'll send over the copy of the RFP after. So your government must be in negotiations and aware of these plans to potentially detain and isolate citizens and residents of our country and our province. So, Speaker, to the Premier, where will these camps be built? How many people will be detained?
You hear the laughing?
And for what reasons?
Question.
For what reasons can people be kept in these isolation camps? And I'd like to have the Premier assure the people of Ontario.
Member, take a seat.
They're saying sit down.
The next question.
Is this ridiculous? Is this ridiculous? So they are laughing at a legitimate question being asked. So what do y'all think about it?
The next question.
What do y'all think about this?
In my supplemental question.
So here it is, a lawmaker, I don't know what they call them in Canada, a legislature, a member of parliament probably is what they're called, ask a legitimate question from documents that he's come across about the Canadian government in talks of contracts for people to run internment camps, and he's asking who's going to be put there, by what criteria, for how long, and he gets shut down for asking the questions, scoffed at, laughed at, and told to sit down because he's asking legitimate, concerned questions. So he found documents showing that they're going to build internment camps. They're probably already built. And it's going to hold people who don't have the virus. Remember, we talked about indefinite detention in America that can hold American citizens for no reason, with no charges, with no court date, with no knowledge of where they're being held at for an indefinite amount of time, and it is legal in the United States. Y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.